Hey traders and investors, it's Serge Berger here. We're going to take a look at today's Goldman Sachs. I've talked about the brokers and the banks, the financial stocks here before, obviously, and I've highlighted this sort of weakish pattern in Goldman Sachs as well. I think now we're getting to a more critical spot. So if we first look at this through a multi-year lens, you can see that Goldman has more or less had this sort of layer of resistance in a fairly wide manner, anywhere from like say 193, 194 down to about 175. And basically in January when the stock topped, it did so more or less in the middle of this range. So that kind of puts the stock into at best a neutral standpoint through this multi-year lens. Now, if we zoom in closer, and by the way, you can look at patterns of some of the other broker-dealer kind of stocks, banks like Morgan Stanley, even Bank of America looks pretty awful, as does J.P. Morgan, does more commercial banks, of course. But you can see basically Goldman has this very defined line of support that it basically broke. Okay, it basically broke through this line in early April, and ever since has been sort of churning below all these moving averages. I have the 100-day, the 200-day, and the 50-day. So particularly the 50 and 200-day being orange and red have been acting as resistance. So now the stock is trading in this very defined trading range, and I really think if this stock can close somewhere probably below, let's call it 154 on a daily closing basis, I think the stock certainly can slip into the mid 140s and maybe the low 140s. Now, the best thing about all of this is that if the stock somehow can get past can get past about the 162, 163 area, and then hopefully also be able to overcome these moving averages at the same time. The stock actually then will look good again for the long side. So we have a pretty good, two good defined areas of support and resistance. Support being about 154. If it closed below there, I think the stock goes lower. If we can somehow over the course of a few days or a few weeks sort of base here and get back above 162, 163, maybe even back above 165, I think we'll have a better chance of the stock getting back into a more neutral to positive position. So I don't think there's anything urgent here, but again, those are the two reference areas I'm looking at. Hope this makes sense. As always, guys, if you want to follow real-time trade alerts, you can go to thesteadytrader.com and sign up there. Otherwise, if you've got any questions, you can hit me up on Twitter. My Twitter handle is SteadyTrader. See you in the next video.